In recent days, social media has been flooded with malicious comments directed at Jungkook, and seeing them spread uncontrollably is difficult to comprehend. What's happening isn't a simple misunderstanding or an overreaction from fans, but rather a series of rumors created with the intention of harming him. Every message circulating seems designed to damage not only his image as an artist but also his reputation as a person, which is surprising because those who have followed him for years know that his behavior has always been respectful and considerate towards those around him. Throughout his career, Jungkook has demonstrated unwavering dedication. He started working at a very young age, yet he maintained a professional and responsible attitude, delivering his talent with discipline and consistency. His presence in the industry has been key in showcasing the cultural value of Korea to the world, making him a role model who has inspired millions. Therefore, it's worrying to see how theories, distorted comments, and unfounded accusations are being spread, many of them repeated by people who don't even know the source of the information. The painful aspect of this phenomenon is that it becomes an endless cycle where interpretations multiply without any verification. Despite the pressure these situations generate, Jungkook has always displayed a firm yet calm demeanor. Even in the most tense moments, he has maintained a mature stance. This makes the lack of a clear response and support from his company unsettling among his fans. Many feel that an organization that has benefited from so many years of his hard work should take a firm stand to stop the defamatory campaigns, especially given his status as one of the most important figures in the Korean music scene. Many people perceive that he has given more than any young artist should, sacrificing personal time and parts of his private life to represent his country and his group with dignity. Therefore, the lack of institutional protection feels unjust. Within this environment, the close relationship between Taehyung and Jungkook has been an emotional anchor for many fans who find in that connection a counterpoint to the external noise. The way they've supported each other for years serves as a reminder that Jungkook has people around him who truly know him, beyond rumors and prejudices. It's not about forcing a narrative, but about recognizing that their dynamic has been an important part of both their personal and professional growth. Seeing how they respect each other, how they support each other on and off stage, and how they've built a relationship of trust over time, helps fans remember that he doesn't face these situations entirely alone. That's why many people want Jungkook to take legal action to stop the spread of rumors and protect his well-being. It's not about revenge, but about setting boundaries against behavior that has become constant and toxic. The hope is that by doing so, the circulation of false information will be curbed and his unfair exposure to public attacks will be reduced. The community that supports him isn't looking for confrontation, but for clarity, justice, and a space where he can continue to develop without unnecessary burdens. It's sad to see how Taekook still can't naturally express their feelings or the importance of their bond. Even though their relationship has always been the subject of comments and criticism, they continue to find discreet yet direct ways to express what they can't say publicly. It's not the first time they've done this, and this time it became clear once again, when Taehyung shares something, it's never by chance. The story he posted about the first snowfall attracted a lot of attention, not only because of how beautiful it was, but also because of the exact location where it was taken. The images matched the area near Jungkook's house. The connection didn't go unnoticed by those who are already used to reading the couple's silent gestures. Beyond what they say or don't say in words, the way they communicate visually always reveals more than meets the eye. An important detail is that the street decorations in the story don't belong to a specific season. This was confirmed thanks to a YouTuber's video, which years earlier showed the path to Jungkook's new house while it was still under construction. At that time, the same decorations were already there. This eliminates the idea that the location was chosen by chance or for a specific date, and instead reinforces that Taehyung knew exactly where he was filming. In Korea, the first snowfall has a very special meaning. It's a moment many couples eagerly anticipate because, according to popular belief, the person you see that first snowfall with becomes someone destined to walk with you in the future. This tradition makes Taehyung's story even more significant, as it wasn't just about a beautiful landscape, but a symbolic message. For many people, this coincidence between the place, the time, and the Korean tradition is further proof of their bond. It's not necessary to exaggerate to understand, if Taehyung decided to share the first snowfall and did so from a place connected to Jungkook, it's because he wanted to leave a clear trace of something they experienced privately. The way they both handled these gestures demonstrates that they understand each other without needing to explain anything openly. Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship has always been characterized by these seemingly small details that tell a much larger story. When Taehyung posted that snowy moment, he didn't just share a pretty picture, he left a signal that those who follow their relationship know how to interpret. His way of presenting himself is usually calm, calculated, and direct, even if it seems simple at first glance. Every post of his is analyzed for what it might mean, and this time the coincidence was too precise to ignore. For his part, Jungkook has always been more reserved, but even so, his movements, places, and decisions tend to align with Taehyung's in ways that require no explanation. And even if they don't say it, it's clear that what they share remains important to both of them. The story of the first snowfall isn't just a visual memory, it's a silent confirmation that they continue to share meaningful moments, even if they can't show them openly. Over the years, Taekook has shown that their communication goes beyond public statements and that their way of expressing themselves is for those who pay attention to the signs. This new sign reinforces what many already suspected: Taehyung and Jungkook remain connected, maintain their closeness, and continue to share important moments, even if the world can't see them directly. Their way of expressing it may be subtle, but it's clear to those who want to perceive it. And once again, they did it in their own style, but with a message easy to understand for those who already know their story. Jungkook has never been one to express everything directly. He doesn't usually stop to explain what he thinks or feels step by step, and those who have followed him for a long time are already used to the fact that his true way of communicating is different. He speaks with actions more than words, small gestures, almost silent decisions, and details that seem simple but end up saying everything that remains unspoken. That's why, for those who have known the Taekook dynamic for years, it's not necessary for Jungkook to give long explanations or for Taehyung to clarify anything. Many signs are self-evident. Over time, these two have shown a particular way of being present for each other. Their interactions don't depend on grand moments or showing off, rather, they are based on that naturalness that only appears between people who trust each other deeply. That's why, when a new sign emerges, even if it seems small, it usually reinforces what many already suspected: Taehyung and Jungkook are still connected. It's not a connection that disappears because they aren't in front of cameras or sharing the same public space. It persists, even when the rest of the world doesn't see it. What's interesting is that this way of communicating, so discreet yet precise, functions as its own language. It's more of a habitual way for them, a rhythm they've maintained for years. For those who follow their story, it's easy to recognize when a gesture is directed at someone, when something is intended for a particular person, or when a detail makes all the difference. None of it needs explanation because a context has already been built over time. On many occasions, both Jungkook and Taehyung display this closeness without any fanfare. Sometimes it's a look that lingers a little longer than usual, the way they settle close to each other without thinking, or the tendency they have to seek each other out even when they're not speaking. These aren't exaggerated gestures, nor do they need to draw attention to themselves. They're details that seem minimal, but they make it clear that they still maintain a special relationship, regardless of whether others understand it or not. One of the most striking points is that these attitudes aren't repeated with just anyone. Jungkook doesn't act the same way with everyone. his reserved style means that every gesture carries a different weight depending on who it's directed at. And in Taehyung's case, something similar happens. There's a particular way he behaves with Jungkook that he doesn't repeat with others. That exclusivity in certain gestures, that natural way of interacting, is what makes many fans easily identify when something belongs to the Taekook dynamic. Over time, this couple has shown that they don't need to say we're here for their closeness to be evident. They express it in their own way, without complications. They don't do it to please anyone, nor because anyone expects it. It arises because that's how they function with each other. Although it may seem like something small, the way they treat each other never goes unnoticed. It's simple, natural, and consistent with the story they've built from the beginning.